Hello, I'm Justin with the Plumbing Doctor. I recently did a project with Bright Tree Condominiums. On this project, when we got called out, originally they had a broken line from a freeze break. I got to the job and talked to Tyler, who is the kind of the maintenance guy for the HOA, and looked at the condition of the piping, and they had old galvanized pipe in there that couldn't really be repaired anymore. I was talking with Tyler with the HOA, and we decided to go ahead and put new all underground water piping in. It was old galvanized that couldn't be repaired. And so throughout that project, I was in communication with all the HOA members and Tyler, kind of putting together all the information to create a good, accurate estimate for what needed to be done. After we got everything put together and all the information about what the building's supply for the water needed to be, I put together a good, honest bid for them. And then we sat down with the entire HOA group, went over everything with them, explained to them what we would do throughout the project and how we would get it done. They were actually pretty surprised that we would only have the water shut off to the community for one day. And other plumbers were telling them that they'd have to have the water shut off for multiple days. But I was able to put together everything to be able to only have the water off for one day. And sent the bid in, and a few months later we got notified that we did get the bid, we did get the work. And so instead of just like ordering the parts and getting everything just going and whatnot, I wanted to kind of sit down with the community and go over with some of the questions that they had and some of the concerns I had throughout the project of this size. We were going to be installing approximately 900 feet of underground water piping, and there was a lot going on. We're also installing individual shutoff valves for each condo. There was, I believe, 7 buildings and 20 livable condos within those buildings, and each one of them wanted their own shutoff valve. And so it was fairly complex and a lot of work to kind of put together. So my wife and I, we took an afternoon on a hot Saturday or Sunday, I think it was, I can't remember. But we took a hot afternoon and went and met with the members of the community to be able to answer all their questions and to address some of our concerns about putting a new water system in. Some of the buildings had old galvanized pipe within the buildings still, and we assured them that we would do everything possible not to damage that old piping, and that we would do whatever we could to be able to adapt to that piping so it wouldn't force them into having to forcefully do a repipe on their condo. But I wanted them to be prepared for that, because sometimes older piping with different pressures and things like that will cause leaks. And so I thought it was fair to notify all the owners about that before we even started the project, instead of just going in there and doing it and then having all kinds of issues, if something like that were to happen. So just wanted to everybody be in the know of what was going on. And also just getting to know the HOA members and the members of the community more, so they would know who was on site. So when we showed up, they knew my name, or they knew what company was out there doing the work, and have that relationship built with them. Throughout this project, we were going to dig holes in strategic areas to be able to directional bore the new main lines. And so I hired James Harris with Cedar Mountain Construction to go ahead and excavate and backfill for those locations. And then I had a directional boring company come out to do all the horizontal drilling for all the piping. This required installing a 2.5-inch main line and branching it down to smaller sizing it accordingly to get to each building. With that, it was just lining everything out to where we could miss all of the drainage that was in the area, all the sewer lines, the storm drainage, all the electrical that was on the property, and everything that we could possibly locate on the property, to be able to, when we were drilling the new main lines, to be able to miss all that stuff. We were able to do that with lots and lots of planning. It took approximately 6 months of planning to put all this together. A lot of work on the front end. As a company with one plumber and a helper, it was a fairly big project for us. We're not really scared to do any kind of work, but it was a big project for us. And strategically, we were trying to get it done in 2 weeks, so 10 working days. And so I had to really think about what we were going to be accomplishing every day and what we were doing, and then organize that with the other contractors that were going to be on site, like I was saying, the directional boring, and then James with digging the holes and backfilling and getting all that done, and then inspections that go along with it and everything else. So once the project started, we got going, and every day we were able to accomplish the things that we set out to do that day. And with some praying, we got everything done on time, and the project went very, very smooth. It was pretty awesome. We passed inspections first time around, and none of the galvanized piping in the existing buildings leaked or was compromised. That way we were able to adapt to where we needed to. We just had to do it very carefully, but we were able to do that and get the water restored to all the buildings. And now they have their own shut-off valves. Previously, when they had that first break on the galvanized pipe, they had to shut all the buildings down. So all the buildings were without water for, I think, 4 days, because they couldn't find a plumber to come out and patch it, and during the winter time, and it was just a bad deal for them. But now all the units will be able to have their own shut-off valves, and so their unit will be the only one that's affected if they don't have water. After the project was completed, I've recently talked to Tyler, and we're going to do some more projects on the property for them. Really happy with them. Tyler's been amazing to work with. He's just a really good communicator, and I can't say enough about the HOA and just the communication that they've given me, and just what kind of friendship that we've been able to build throughout this process, to just enjoy them, not only as a working relationship, but enjoy to get to know them as friends also. It's been a pleasure to get to know them on a personal level, and it was just a joy to do this, and we're looking forward to doing other projects like this in the future. So just wanted to kind of put this together to kind of reach out and let everybody know what we do as the plumbing doctor. We do anything plumbing, whether it's big or small, anything from fixing a small little valve or working on your toilet or faucet to big projects like this.